So you make the playoffs here. It's the first time for the franchise, but for you, you've been here before. I mean, what was that locker room like?
Yeah, it was. I think there's a lot of energy, a lot of excitement coming into this week. It was a big game, and I just think, we kind of had a lot of, I guess pressure on us these past couple games just to win one, right, and get in. And when you kind of have that pressure, you might grip the sticks a little tighter and stuff like that. So it was a good time for a bye week, a little reset. We had a great week of practice, and we were ready for this game.
Wait.
Let's go Knighthawks.
Let's go Knighthawks.
So, I mean, take me through. Now you're in these last 2 games of the season getting ready for the playoffs. How important is this Philly game still, though, to end the season?
Yeah, it's huge, right? Getting the momentum going into the playoffs. I think, it's a team we lost to twice, so, we definitely, are hungry for a win. And, obviously, 1, you want to get back on track, but 2, we want to beat those guys, right? We lost to them twice. So, we're really excited for that and hoping to keep it going.
We know you're always just doing your part to keep your team rolling, but right now you're pretty close. You're right in the race for the goal title in the National Lacrosse League on this season. Is that something that you've at any point thought about yet?
No, I think it's just, going in each week and just preparing, individually for how you could help your team, be successful. And, that's kind of the mindset I go into each week is in training. I want to, train for not just 60 minutes, but 60 minutes plus just to be in the best shape I could be, to help the team win. So, it's a credit to those guys, on how much attention they draw out there. And, it helps me, get open, I guess, just with how much pressure's on all those guys with the defenders' attention. So, I just found myself in some spots, and it's credit to all those guys.
Thank you, Knighthawks fans.
Your relationship with Thomas Hogarth on field has seemed like it's been continuously evolving as games go on. I mean, is it just really fun for you to find him in the hole?
Yeah, I mean, he's a tremendous player. He's a really fun guy to play with. He's a type of guy who can, do it all. I feel like he can play with the ball, obviously play without the ball, and he always finds a way to get himself open. I feel like, he's just one of those players that is so crafty and so creative in everything he does. That's how he's how he gets himself open, and his lacrosse IQ is far and above many players in this league. So I just think we're figuring out spacing, like coming into the season, right? I'm new to all. I've never played with any of these guys, so just figuring out each other and where we're going to be, and I feel like that's really evolved as of late.
The 4-game stretch of losses happens, and it's really easy to be able to get in your head and just think, okay, we're not going to be able to pull this out. I mean, what did you do during the bye week to ensure that you came into this week rejuvenated and not thinking about those 4 games?
Like I said, I was, watch film. One is just to see what, those little details that add up to those losses. And, it's not like we're necessarily getting blown out by teams. We're losing 1-2 goal games, right? It's just 1 or 2 things that we could have done better that, might have ended up with a different result. So focusing on, that as well as, like I said, preparing for 60-plus minutes. We've been in a lot of overtime games. So I'm just trying to make sure that, I'm in the best shape that I could be in coming into the end of the season to help, our team win.
You are one of the few guys that in recent years has been to the playoffs. Do you think there's any words of wisdom that you would give to the team and unit as you prepare for that now?
It's very, it's not something to take lightly, right? Like, I think it's hard to get into the playoffs, and, obviously last year I came up short with, with the last team I was on, and I just think, in that locker room, there's nothing that needs to be said like that. We have a team of guys who've won at every level, right? So it's just kind of putting the pieces together, and just, everyone is working for that goal, right, to win a championship. So, we have a lot of guys who've won championships. We have coaches and, GMs who've won a lot of championships, and, we have guys who are hungry to win a championship, and I think, that's a really dangerous recipe, coming into the playoffs.
So last week, you were the 3rd American-born player to ever get 100 points in a season. Tonight, you become the 3rd player in history to have 130 loose balls and 100 points in a season. Last time it was done was Athena Iannucci in 2008, and your old coach, John Tavares. I'm guessing by the look on your face that this is news to you, but think about that. You 3rd all-time American-born to get the points, but now 3rd ever in this league with 130 loose balls and 100 points. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's always a huge honor. to be recognized with players of that level, right? In both ways, with the American-born as well as, players with 100 points and 130 loose balls. Those names you mentioned are obviously tremendous players. So, it is a real honor, but, like I said, it's none of that happens without the staff we have here, the culture they've built here, as well as the players that we have on this team. It's all one unit. It doesn't matter who gets the glory, at the end of each game. It's just getting a win, and that's all that matters. And I think, we really do play like that. And, I guess in terms of that last thing you mentioned, loose balls, I feel like that's a huge thing, something I really focus on. It's not always, as an offensive player, the goals or the assists, or the points that you put up, but it's getting, those extra possessions and those loose balls. And I think we have a full, our whole offense does that, works really hard to get those second possessions. So, that's something I really pride myself on.
And you mentioned talking about those second and third chance opportunities, and you guys really weren't getting those during that 4-game losing streak. But tonight, you guys were getting second, third, sometimes fourth, and a lot of them you were getting some good You guys were getting some good bounces and getting those opportunities. How important is it to get those opportunities, and especially to bury them? Especially you saw goals on second, third chances.
Yeah, I mean that's huge, right? It's a momentum swing for us, right? It gets us, really excited, really hyped up. I think when you score, one of those goals and it deflates their defense, right? They just had one, maybe two stops, and then, they still weren't off the floor. And maybe we score on that third or second opportunity, which is really deflating for a defense. I know, our defense tells us that all the time, is those are the most deflating goals. So, like I said, it's something I think all of us offensive guys pride ourselves on, are those loose balls that correlate to second opportunities. And I think you saw, like you said, a couple tonight that ended up in goals. The one I could think of is Turns. That was a great individual effort and, a huge momentum swing for us. So, just stuff like that is the little things that we really need to focus on, moving forward. You got anything?
No.
No? All right. Go Knighthawks?
Go Knighthawks.
All right.
There you go.